Alright, so here we have the pretty much completely disassembled carb. Everything's been cleaned, soaked in carb cleaner where it needed it, which was pretty much everything. Took a toothbrush to quite a few parts. I had my little wires from a twist tie and actually a little bit of ribbing from my fly tying kit, some rib for those who know what that is, and was poking out, you know, the various holes here in the jets, for example, and things of that nature, and putting it through lengthwise as well. You want to be able to see that hole through both of the jets. Here's the other jet. I'm not sure if you can see through that, but yeah, you want to be, those need to be clear, as well as those holes on the side there. I didn't take out my air compressor, but I did have this compressed air can for cleaning keyboards, and was able to use that to just really ensure everything was cleaned out. And I was also taking that and putting it through my my jets as well. We're going to start with the pilot screw here. There's a little rubber gasket and a washer there, plus the springs. So the setting for the pilot screw is to put it all the way in so that it's tight, and then you're going to turn it. The default setting at least is 1.5 turns out from once you're all the way turned in. So there's a half turn, another half, and another half. That can be adjusted once it's back on the machine. That just kind of fine tunes the idling. Alright, next we'll be putting in the pilot jet. This one just goes all the way in tight. Alright, next up is the main jet. I've just done that hand tight, and we'll just go a little bit extra. Alright, next we're going to put this plate back on. And there's a little screw with a washer to hold that in. Alright, so next up is the float. This little piece lets the fuel through here. We're going to hang that on there, and we're going to slide that pin back through. Alright, just putting that pin back through there on the float, and that's floating real nice there. Alright, next up we're going to put the baffle on, and that just sits on there, but that gets held in place by the gas bowl here. And then we can go ahead and put these back in. I forgot to mention, you might want to have inspected your gasket that was along the gas bowl here, just to make sure it's in good shape still. We're going to roll the dice here and hope that it's okay. If you have the forethought and time and money, it's, you know, maybe worth just buying a new one in advance. If anything needs to be replaced on a carburetor, I'm finding it's those. Everything else is pretty reliable as long as you clean it. Next we'll put this back in. This is the screw that you would use to drain your carb. Alright, next is your throttle adjustment. We're going to wait to screw that all the way in till we put our throttle slide back in. You can see it would actually start to come out the side here and push up your throttle valve, which would increase your idle. Insert the spring back in there. That's going to sit there. Hand tight on that's probably fine. Alright, so we have our slide here. This is our needle which goes into the main jet, and it's at setting 3. The top is setting 1, the bottom one is 4. Setting 3 is the default setting. And there's a bit of gunk on here, so I'm just going to lightly scratch that off, just very, very lightly. Some of you may be cringing. I think it's going to be just fine. Alright, that's going to sit into the, put that into the deep end there. There's a little spot for this to rest in. So let's put that through there. That's going to drop through like that. And then we're going to put this retainer spring back in. Alright, so I've got that retainer spring just kind of past the surface, and we're just going to very slowly keep pushing that deeper, trying to keep it level. And I'll probably just try and push it down with that. Okay, that's nice and snug down there. And this spring should keep that from ever popping out. Basically, we're ready to go here. Just going to go down there. Oh, and there is a little protrusion on the side here that guides this up and down. So we want to line it up with that for sure, and you'll know if you don't get it. And there, we found it, and now there we go, it's gone down the rest of the way. We did actually have My father-in-law bought this Chinese carb and it runs like junk. So I believe he's taken out the cable throttle from there, so I'm going to have to get that back. But for now, we'll just put this down on there. We're good to go. Oh, and then a missing O-ring can go there. That's going to go on the side that goes into your engine. This will be your air intake side here. And we'll attach these hoses once it's back on the machine. And there we have it, a 1988 Yamaha Moto carburetor put back together from basically completely blown apart. All right, thanks everyone. Hope you found that useful. Please like and subscribe if you did.